Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra is organized World Record Series 2. Today is 165th day of the series, and the resource person for today's session is with us, Honorable Dr. M. PUNITHAVATI Madam. So first of all, I welcome to you, Madam, for the dais. I welcome the Chief Organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Bedkar, sir. I welcome the colleagues from my college, Honorable Sanjay Kale, sir, Dr. Anita Dole, Madam, and all others. And lastly, I welcome all those dear participants who join the series regularly. So the topic for today's presentation is mushroom cultivation and its uses. Now this topic is going to present, as I have said, the keynote speaker, Dr. M. PUNITHAVATI Madam. She is an assistant professor from MARUDHAR KESARI JAIN College for Women, VANIYAMBADI in Kerala. So with this brief introduction, now I request Honorable PUNITHAVATI Madam, please start your presentation on today's topic, mushroom cultivation and its uses. You are most welcome, Madam, please.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for introducing me. So good evening to one and all present here. So today we see about the mushroom and its uses. Myself, Dr. M. PUNITHAVATI, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, MARUDHAR KESARI JAIN College for Women, VANIYAMBADI. So what is mushroom? Mushroom is a part of the fungus that is comparable to the fruit of the plant. And like plants, mushrooms do not use the sunlight to generate the energy for themselves. So most of the plants are used for the sunlight to get the energy. But same as the mushrooms also used for the sunlight to get the energy. So but it is not a plant, it is a fungus type. So mushrooms are the unique in their produce the sections because they are the fungi and not a vegetable. So we typically think as the mushroom is a fleshy, fruiting and spores, so bearing the body of the fungus. So these are the morphology of the mushrooms. So that is contains the cap on the head part of the head part is called the cap, and gills. Gills are present in the mushrooms, both poisonous and also as well as the edible mushrooms. So these are the spores of the mushrooms contains the small dots. So the rings of the mushrooms present in the stack of the, that is the stem of the mushrooms. Then also valva. Then this is the mushroom bed. So contains the mycelium, that is one kind of the substrate for the growth of the that is used for the growth of the mushroom. So these are the morphology of mushrooms. Over the 2000 varieties of mushrooms are identified all over the world. So but only some specified types are safe to eat. So mushrooms are being consumed since the earliest history. Past in 1670s also, mushrooms are used for the edible process and also as well as the medicinal process. In Roman, pursued them as the food of the gods. In Greeks, they are used for the strength of the source of warriors in battles. In Chinese, use the that is the mushrooms as the health for the food and also accelerator of the life. Mushrooms to fight the cancer is known for the long time in Korea, China, Japan, Russia, and USA and Canada. So varieties of mushrooms, that is the types, they are the edible mushrooms and poisonous mushrooms. So what are all the edible mushrooms means that is the eatable part of the mushrooms, and also non-edible part of the mushrooms are used for the medicinal purposes, and toxic mushrooms also available in the all over the world. So These are the edible mushrooms. That is the common type of the edible mushrooms. So are also contains the fleshy and edible fruit bodies of several species of macrofungi. So this is not a microfungi. This is a macrofungi. They can appear either below ground or above the ground. So they may be picked by the ant. So it is defined as the criteria that include the absence of poisonous effects on the humans and desirable taste and aroma. Then only they are used for the edible purpose. So they are in the poisonous one, they are not used for the edible purpose. So examples of mushrooms are the puffball mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms, so honey fungus, so then lactarius indigo, sep, schulesus, champanins, so milky mushroom, button mushrooms, oyster mushrooms are the edible mushrooms. So type of edible mushrooms. So white button mushroom, oyster mushroom, milky mushroom, creamy mushroom, shiitake mushrooms, and straw mushrooms are the commonly used for the edible purpose. White button mushrooms. So that is the botanical name Valvaria vulgava. So button mushrooms is one of the most commonly available varieties of mushrooms in all over the world and also India. So they are the very low carbohydrates. That is the very low calories present in the mushrooms. So they offer essential protein and amino acids, sufficient levels of the minerals, vitamins, and also fibers. Button mushrooms carry the vitamin in the form of ergocalciferols. So that is the ergocalciferol is the precursor to form the many hormones. So vitamin D is essential for the fat soluble vitamin. So vitamin D is also a fat soluble vitamin. So that is required for the bone growth and calcium metabolisms. So next type of mushroom is the oyster mushrooms. So it is one of the oyster fungus. It is also known as the pearl oyster mushrooms. Is common edible type of the mushrooms. So oyster mushrooms are the Pleurious species are the group of the gilled mushrooms. So this is the gilled part of the mushrooms. So while mushrooms are classified as the fungus, so which are the technically different from the plants, they are the great additional to any meat-free diet. So oyster mushrooms are loaded with the full of fibers, vitamins, minerals, as well as the important nutrients. They are also low in carbohydrate. They are the good choice of the people following low carbohydrate diet patients, like diabetic patients. So another type of the mushroom is the milky mushrooms. So milky mushrooms can grow on worldwide range. That is the substrate as the case of the oyster mushrooms. Milky mushroom is the excellent source of the vitamin B12. That is the riboflavin, so and also vitamin E and vitamin A, and also some of the minerals like phosphorus, potassium, selenium, and also contain the calcium, vitamin C. So all known about the vitamin C, iron, and zinc. So rich of vitamins and minerals are present in the milky mushrooms. Milky mushrooms also have the antibiotics. So they're destroying the bacteria. So what is mean by antibiotics? In the sense that is the destroys the bacteria, that is the free from the that is the microorganisms. So anti-tumor activity, that is the against the tumor activity, and also anti-cancer properties, and help in the regulating the diabetes and lower the bad cholesterol levels. Another one type, so creamy mushrooms, also simply slightly more mature versions of the button mushrooms. Though the creamy mushrooms are a source of the small amount of the vitamins and minerals, their health benefits tend to come from the other factors. Another one is the shiitake mushrooms. So they contains the iridatin. So that is the compound reduce the cholesterol levels in the blood. They also contains the beta glucans that reduce the inflammations and also help to prevent the intestinal from the absorbing cholesterol. That is the cholesterol, it get reduce the cholesterol absorbed by the intestine and support the immune health, the fighting against the foreign particles. She takes the rich polysaccharides like lignans and other beta glucans. So beta glucans are the that is one type of the carbohydrate that is helpful for the formation of the peptidoglycans and other type of the carbohydrate compounds. So another one is the straw mushrooms. So are one of the mushrooms that are the considered beginning providing many nutrients. Straw mushrooms and health benefits include the reduce the cholesterol in the digestive system. It has the natural insulins. They also naturally containing the insulin that is helpful for the reducing the diabetics mellitus. So insulin is the one of the hormones. So that is helpful for the that is the capture of the glucose to gets the cellular metabolic level, so which is the good for the diabetics, and beta glucan prevent the growth of the cancer, and also involving the vitamin D for the strength of the bones, also prevent the anemia, so that is the low level of the uh, hemoglobin, that is the RBC level in the blood, and also good for the heart health. So another these are the edible mushrooms. So another part is the poisonous mushroom. So these are the used for the toxic content, toxic purpose, and also for the medicinal purpose. So poisonous mushrooms. So that is the avoiding mushroom features red cap or red stems. So these are contains the red cap or red stem. So well, so that is not a red varieties. So not all the red varieties of mushrooms are the poisonous ones. So be careful for the red mushrooms. So they also contains the poisonous ones. But if you are the non-veg, please avoid anything red on mushrooms or brown mushrooms or anything are spoiling in the yellow color. So we can avoid that type of the mushrooms. So we that is a common edible mushrooms, or we can take white in color. Avoid mushroom featuring white gills, so which is the ring on the stem. That stem contains the some of the rings, so that is called the poisonous mushroom. Destroying the angel mushrooms, so that is varieties of mushroom, poisonous varieties of mushroom, oval shaped, destroying angel. So that is the poisonous amatoxins. They contain the amatoxins. So that is the cancer producing agents. They can cooked. It will be destroyed. So and also poisonous mushroom contain the mycetium. So which is a few hours of consumption, they can produce the poisonous one, and also it can damage the or destroy the kidney and liver, ultimately causing the motility. So that is they causing the death. So death cap mushrooms. So these are the examples and common features of the mushrooms. They can avoid for the edible purpose. Poisonous mushrooms. So what are all the health benefits of the mushrooms? So that is one type is the decreases the risk of the cancer. So in the 17 cancer studies 1966 to 2020 shows that eating just 18 grams of mushrooms a day may lower the risk of the cancer, and also so much 45 percentage leads to the uh, that is to prevention of the cancer. 45 percentage to prevention of the cancer. Mushrooms are the powerful source of the ergothioneins. So that is the one type of the amino acids. So that is rich in the mushroom content. So it is also helpful for the antioxidant properties. So next one is the lower the sodium intakes. So we are known about the sodium. So that is also present in the most of the fruits and vegetables, and also rich of the sodiums are that is the rich of the sodiums are present in the another type of the vegetables, but the in mushrooms lower the sodium levels. So that is it can prevent lower the sodium levels, can prevent the blood pressure, and also causes the body retain some of the excess fluids, increases which can increases the decreases the sodium intake. Consider they adding the mushroom to a meal. So next one is the third one is the provide the source of the vitamin D. Already we seen about the rich source of vitamin D is present in the mushrooms. They can improve the bone strengthness. So that is the absorb the calcium levels in the. We can take the milk. Milk not directly involved in the bone strengthening process. That is involved in the vitamin D. It can absorb the calcium levels in the body and improve the bone strength. Next one is the fighting. Sixth one is the fight the cell damage. So that is the fight cell damage means the that is the prevention of the antioxidants, or also Mushroom salts contains the antioxidants rich amount. So that is helpful for the fight the oxidative stress or cellular damage, and also helpful for the aging purpose and developing the chronic diseases to reduces the chronic diseases like heart diseases, kidney diseases and liver diseases. Several varieties of mushrooms such as the button mushrooms that is contains the high level of the antioxidant glutamic acid and ergothioneine, that is the carbohydrate, and also as well as the amino acid that is helpful for the prevention of the cancer. And also next one is the improves the brain functions. Consuming of mushrooms may help to slow the conjunctive decline that comes with aging. According to both antioxidant research, above a separate study of over 600 people aged 60 and over. Next one is the supports the bone health. So that is bone health. Some of mushrooms sold in the stores have been treated with UV light, so that increases their vitamin D in stores. So they treated the mushrooms are one of the best source of the vitamin D. So that is also important for the healthy bones. Eating these mushrooms as same benefits getting vitamin D from the supplements of the sun exposure. Normally mushrooms does not good for the vitamin D, good sources of vitamin D. Exceptional is wild mushrooms, but eating them can be risky if you are unable to determine which are edible and which are toxic. Ninth one is the lower the diabetic risk. So it can contains the lower amount of the carbohydrate. So it is a good sources of the protein content. So mushrooms are the good sources of and also fiber content. Consuming the dietary fiber has many health benefits, including a lower risk of the type 2 diabetic mellitus. Nowadays, people having the type 2 diabetic mellitus is the 80 percentage of the people having type 2 diabetes mellitus. In 2020 study had the polysaccharide in mushroom also helped to protect against the diabetics but reducing the oxidative stress. Next one is the reduces the depressions. Nowadays people are having the a high level of the that is the high level of the depressions. So it also reduces the depression level while we taking the mushrooms. So that is the researchers proves that reduces the depressions of humans. Medicinal uses of mushrooms. That is the medicinal uses. One of the poisonous mushroom and also edible mushrooms are used for the medicinal uses. 100 medicinal functions are produced by the mushrooms and fungi, and that is the key medicinal uses are the antioxidant, anti-cancer. That is the antioxidant is prevent against the oxidative formations, and the anti-cancer is the fighting against the cancerous cells. So or it can produce the cellular damage from that type of the cell. Anti-diabetics. So anti-diabetics in the sense they can they're having the beta glucan. Already we seen about the beta glucan. So that is the reduced level, and also it can contains the insulin. So that also helpful for the anti-diabetic and also anti-allergic properties. So any of the mushrooms, any of the vegetables and fruits we can take, it causes allergic. So it is also helpful for the anti-allergic properties. Immunomodulations, some of the immune boosters, mushrooms are act as the immune boosters, and also it adds used for the cardiovascular protector. Anti-cholesterolemic, that is the reduces the level of the cholesterol, and also by antiviral properties, antibacterial properties, antiparasitic. Any of the insects or bites in our body to protect against the antiparasitic agents. So antifungal agents and also detoxifications. That is the removal of the toxic substance from our body. It can help for that functions also, and also hepatoprotective effects. Hepato means in the sense is the liver, so it can protect as well as the liver functions. They also protect against the anti-tumor properties, so developing and development, anti-tumor development, and also inflammatory processes. that is any inflammations occurs inside and outside of the body, it can reduces the inflammations. So these are the mushrooms medicinal uses. High quantity of the proteins. So mushrooms contains the full of proteins. It is equal to 100 gram of meat we can take. So that is equal to 100 gram of the mushrooms that can provide the energy for the that is equal to the meat, and also health relevant compounds. So that is diabetic, anti-tumor, anti-cancer properties. Then functional ingredients, they can provide the functional ingredients, and also fermentation substrate like inositol, sorbitol, some of the alcoholic. So that is it can also provide that is fermentation substrate for the providing the fermentation of the food process, and also low fat and high fiber content. Medicinal properties of mushrooms. So already we seen about the antimicrobial properties, hepato and cardioprotective, that is the liver and heart protective, anti-diabetic properties. They also contain the insulin, so beta glucan. So that is having, so that is leads to the anti-diabetic properties and reduces the cholesterol level. So it can contains the ergothioneine. So it is reduces the cholesterol level, and also rich of the fiber content, also helpful for the reduces the risk of the cholesterol formation, and also reduce the hypertension. Already we seen about the reduces the that is blood pressure level. Weight management, it also helpful for the weight management therapy. Anti-aging property to treat anemia also. So that is the medicinal properties. So that is the cancer urgent therapy. Already we seen immunomodulations, anti-tumor properties, etc. Then mushroom nutritional facts, that is 1 cup of mushrooms contain the 70 gram. It provides 15 calories, that is 2.2 gram of the protein, 2.3 gram of the carbohydrate, and 0.2 gram of the fat, that is the low fat content and rich in the protein, and also high fiber content. That is the good sources of the copper, that is mineral properties. Then B vitamins, that is riboflavin. So that, and also contains the some of minerals like potassium, iron, and selenium. Carbs, that is the carbs or the carbohydrates. 1 cup of raw mushrooms contain the 2.3 gram of the carbohydrates. That mushrooms are also good sources of the fiber, that is the dietary fiber, particularly the soluble fiber, that is beta glucan. Mushrooms have naturally low glycemic index, so then only they can reduces the diabetic level, which means that they are the presumed to have the little negative effect on the blood glucose or insulin responsible due to their low carbohydrate content. There is no sufficient conclusion evidence on the use of mushroom for the diabetes. It also contains some of the fats, that is the soluble fats, most which is the polysaturated fat, that is the PUFA. So MUFA and PUFA are the good fatty acids that is helpful for our diet fat. So as the result, mushrooms are the considered a heart healthy food for the choice. So protein provide the small amount of the protein, that is 2.2 gram per cup, which represents just a portion of your daily needs. So be sure to eat the protein rich food such as the legumes like nuts, dietary meat, fish as a part of the balanced diet. So mushrooms contain the full of vitamins and minerals. So that is called the micronutrients and also macronutrients. They are the good sources of the copper, potassium, phosphorus, and iron. Copper assists the energy production and iron utilization. Potassium is the important for the maintaining the body fluids and electrolyte balance when we are the dysentery or the athletic or sports persons. They are balanced with the electrolyte. So they take the mushrooms. It can balance the electrolyte balance also. It is required for the proper nerves and also muscles and conductions. So that is muscle conduction. So we can we can use to for the nerve impulses, etc. May help to lower the blood pressure also. So because of the they are contain the low sodium level, so they are helpful for the blood lower the blood pressure level. Iron is a mineral needed for the synthesis of the hemoglobin, so that is the reduces of the anemia. So that is the rich of the iron, it reduces the anemia. And also some part of the DNA and amino acid, neurotransmitter, and also certain hormones. So that is the ergocalciferol already we seen. So that is the formation of the steroid hormones. They are helpful for the steroid hormones. So that is we can take mushrooms. It is also more health benefits. Mushrooms also contain the niacin, that is called the vitamin B3. So pantothenic acids, so that is vitamin B5. So that is the full of the B complex vitamins they contains. They assess the release of the energy from the carbohydrate, proteins, and as well as the fat. Storage and food safety for mushrooms. Mushrooms are deadly and can look like the safe varieties. So it is the risk to gather wild mushrooms on your own for eating. They sold by the reputable provisional should be safe to eat. Many people used to chop mushrooms and put in the salad raw. Some experts suggest so that is not the good source, good eatable mushrooms. They can cooking also help to release their vitamins and minerals. They do not take mushrooms do not take raw itself. Certain varieties of raw mushrooms contain the small amount of toxin content, including a compound that is considerable the carcinogenic. So that is provide the cancer. So which is destroyed through the cooking only. So we does not take raw itself. So however, cooking will not render highly toxic mushrooms safe to eat. So when chopping of mushrooms, look for the fresh mushroom. They are the clean and free glimpses, such as soft, moist, and spot. So and discoloration. Fresh mushrooms can be stored in refrigerator open container for about 5 days only. Do not wash them until it just for use. So these are the recipes of the mushrooms. So like we can the mushrooms are used for the culinary purposes. Culinary industries play a vital role. That is the garlic mushrooms, mushroom sauce. We can prepare like that. Mushroom powder also available for the nutrient content. So they also contain the high fiber and water content, protein, and additionally they are contains the rich of minerals. Already we seen about the magnesium, calcium, potassium, copper, sodium. So and also seen about the that is mineral benefits also. They contains the vitamins like both fat soluble vitamins and also as well as the water soluble vitamins. So we can take stuffed mushrooms. So these are the available form of the culinary industries. Mushrooms are the commercially available in market. Reddish mushrooms and oyster mushrooms in the powder form. We can take we can take and mix with the food material and also milk. We can eat like that powders. Then also available in the form of the soup varieties and different soup varieties. Also available in the capsule itself, so they can improve the immune boosters. And also it is also in the available form of the ground coffee varieties. So in the mushrooms syringe. So these are the mushroom syringe. Nowadays they are the easily to transport clean sample of the specific mushroom species and inoculate the substrate while the avoiding the contamination. Then that only we use the mushroom for the syringe itself. The syringe contain the particular type of the different varieties of the mushrooms to transport anywhere and everywhere for the inoculation to produce the another type of the mushrooms, to growth of the another type of mushrooms. So what is the take home message for the mushrooms? So the natural hidden treasures for the promoting the human health and quality of the life. and also useful for the pharmacological, that is the pharma industry. For potential, mushrooms are the fascinating and promising. Make mushrooms a part of your diet. It is preventive measure to numerous devastating diseases and perfect way to stay the healthy. So we can take mushrooms daily itself for promoting or improving our human, that is health. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam, for wonderful presentation on the topic mushroom cultivation and its uses. You presented so nicely with PPT in details. So again, I thank you. Now I
Thank you.
request dear participants, please, if you have any query regarding the topic, please come ahead, ask your queries. Madam will answer it. Dear participants.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, welcome, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Good
sir.
evening, Dr. Bhaskar sir, Principal sir, Prashant sir, and thank you very much, madam, what presentation you had given. Wonderful about the mushroom and mushroom. The benefits, especially the healthful benefits of mushroom. Mushroom is really playing a wonderful role in developing our health, because many of the times we are just concerned with the diseases and we are taking treatment of diseases. But when the time comes, how to build our health, that is more important than rather than just maintain, treating disease condition. So mushrooms are wonderful role. That is one thing. Madam, I want to ask questions. There are two types of mushrooms, what we can say.
Yes.
One is cultivated mushroom and another one is wild mushroom. So
Yes.
people are means they are concerned with both the things. Some people are also eating wild mushrooms. They try to find out those species and they eat those mushrooms.
Yes. Yes.
So, what is the basic difference between the cultivated mushroom, under the roof, what they are doing, with the straws and other things, and the wild mushroom? Is there any difference in the quality of that mushroom or the nutrients which are present? They maybe little more in wild or maybe more in the cultivated. What is the difference between these two mushrooms? That is my
Sir,
first.
sir, nice question, sir. Sir, in so major differences are there in the edible mushrooms and poisonous mushrooms. So edible mushrooms are preferably in white color, so they can that is the white, apart from white color, they that is they are the poisonous mushroom. They consider as the poisonous mushroom. In local peoples, they are well known about that. So which one is the poisonous one? So this one is the edible one. But literature, we can survey the literature and we can study through, or we can confirm the literature survey only. We can take edible mushrooms. So poisonous mushrooms are also good for.
My question is not regarding poisonous and non-poisonous. My
So,
question is wild mushrooms are also, they are edible and
yes.
they are also consumed. So what is the difference between the cultivated under the roof and all the conditions, what we incubation we are doing and the culture what we are giving to cultivate them? That is one thing. And another one, it is developing only in the forest or something, and they are collecting it and they are bringing it. So edible, I'm talking about edible and non-poisonous. Both are non-poisonous. But is there any difference, when we are cultivating under some certain conditions and when we are considering them from some forest or something like that?
So most of the mushrooms are the white in color or the edible purpose. So that is the wild mushrooms. They contain the cap on cap on the egg part. So and also stack on ring. So in stem they contains the ring like structure. So they are not considered as the edible part.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Usually, we are Indian people population. We are eating that white button mushroom and straw mushroom and this kind of mushrooms. What we are eating,
So
right?
well-known people only they are well-known only they are eating the mushrooms. Other peoples can't do that, and also they're slightly the white mushrooms also slightly color changes like yellow color or brown color. They are not considered as the edible purpose. And also alcoholic person does not eat mushrooms, preferably avoidable that mushrooms. So they can produce the poisonous one.
Correct, madam. And certain medicines are also prepared from this mushroom nowadays. And
Yes,
really, it is playing a wonderful role, and we have to consider it as a
1 kg of
protein.
the mushrooms that is available in 1 lakh.
Yeah,
So that is for the medicinal purpose.
correct, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, for your queries, nice queries, and madam have answered it very well. So thank you very much. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Bedkar sir. Sir, please welcome and have some concluding words for today's session. Please welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for giving the opportunity. So, Dr. Becker, sir, and Prashant, sir. So, they are producing a well effect for the series, World Record series. All the best also for your contribution of this World Record series, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunities.
Ma'am, just wait for formal vote of thanks. Just wait for 2 minutes. Now I move. Thank you, sir. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur, in Maharashtra, is organized World Record Series 2. As we know, today was 165th day of the series, of the World Record Series. And the topic was very significant for today's session. And it is related to everybody's health, the food like mushroom cultivation and its uses. Now this topic you have presented so nicely. Mushroom are the nature's hidden treasure for promoting human health and quality of life. Mushroom contains micronutrients that support a healthy immune system. So it is an important one to everybody's life. Madam have explained what is a mushroom, then different varieties of mushrooms, and how it is benefits, health benefits of the mushrooms, and how it be stored, and food safety for mushrooms. Now all this you have covered in your lecture, madam, so nicely. point-to-point explanation was there in your speech. So thank you very much for paying your valuable time. I express thanks to you. I thank the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Bedkar sir. Thanks the college, Honorable Dr. Sanjay sir, Dr. Anita Dhole madam, Honorable Principal, and lastly, thanks all dear participants, including our nice attendees, Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, who always join the series and ask remarkable questions in the series. So thank you very much to all dear participants again. Now I request all the participants, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. Then you will get your certificates. Now I declare that today's session is over with the kind permission of chief organizers. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Punithavati madam, again for paying your valuable time.
Feedback link once again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, kindly share feedback link once again.
Yes, madam.
Sir, kindly share feedback link once again.
Yes, madam. Yes. Dr. Punithavati madam, you can leave and take rest.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.